So it's my last day sleeping inside for a while. Like I said in an earlier video log, I lost my job. I'm currently in between jobs, looking for work, and the last paycheck I got, I was able to just book 5 days in a hotel, and like honestly, being inside does a lot for your mental health. Like it does a lot for your mental health. But like I can't honestly, I can't not think about how I shouldn't have to be living like this. You know, like as a husband, as a father, as the breadwinner, as the stay-at-home parent. Like no one should have to be living like this. You know, like my wife told people, including the courts and the police, that I abused her and our children the entirety of our marriage. But there was never any police reports. There was never any court. There was never nothing. And then when she served me, she locked me out of her bedroom, set up situations to where she, you know, she made life hostile after serving me. Locked me out of the bedroom, stopped buying food for the house. And like at that time, I was the stay-at-home parent when I was served. I was taking care of the kids, getting them ready for school, putting them on the bus, getting them home, cooking them dinner, putting them to bed, cleaning the house, you know. And like I said before before being the stay-at-home parent, I was the breadwinner. And like, I made a lot of mistakes in this marriage, but one of the main ones was I would come home with my paycheck and hand her and her mom the entire paycheck. And I've said this before, and that's where the financial abuse takes place. And because I gave her my entire paycheck, thinking like I'm paying bills, I'm doing my responsibilities, she took that and turned around and told people that I didn't work. And this kind of like the fact that I never had any money, it kind of like backed it up. And like people would always ask me like, do you even have a job? And I'm like, yeah, I do work. I'm at work all day, you know. It was just, I was being manipulated to hand to my wife and her mother my entire paycheck so they could thrive and they could do things. And like I said, this is my last day inside for a while. You know, my wife was court ordered 3 years ago to pay me money to get me off the street because she refused to let me back in our house. And like I have repeatedly said, there is no restraining order. There is no court order dictating I'm not allowed to be on that property. But she's been able to get the police to tell me that I can't even step foot in the town or I'll be arrested. She was court ordered 3 years ago to give me money to get off the street, and she has refused to pay that court order, and she has kept the proceeds, the divorce proceeds, just stalled at a standstill. So I'm still homeless. I'm still raising my children from a car that my wife owns and still pays for it. You know, I'm somehow surviving. You know, I know I keep saying it, but that's it's really what's happening. You know, like I've got to show my kids that, like you've got to fight. You can't just lay down and take it. It's hard, but being an abuse victim is never going to be easy.